Hello all, it's James Johnson, aka Software Blade, and I am almost as giddy as a schoolboy right now. After finding this news, I couldn't help but make a video immediately upon finding out about this news. This is awesome. I want to sing the song. There's God Bless Texas with His Own Hands. It's a country song. Anyway, hell yeah. Texas sues Georgia, Michigan, Pennsylvania, and my home state of Wisconsin in the Supreme Court over election rules. That's right. The state of Texas is bringing suit against 4 other states, which means it's automatically on the Supreme Court docket. It's not seen in the state of Texas. It's not seen in it's state versus state, which means it goes immediately to the Supreme Court. And because the suit is versus Michigan, Wisconsin, Pennsylvania, and Georgia, this election is far from over. Seriously far from over. Because Texas just put the entire election in the Supreme Court's hands. Literally. So before, the only Supreme Court issue was with the Pennsylvania election. And the 20 electors wouldn't really wouldn't tip the balance. However, the 10 from Wisconsin, 20 from Pennsylvania, 16 I believe in Georgia, and what was the other one? Georgia, Wisconsin, Michigan, and Pennsylvania. Michigan I think is 18. I could be wrong on some of the numbers, but I think I'm pretty right on those. That's more than enough to push this election back in Trump's favor. Holy crap, this is huge. Thank you, Texas. God bless Texas. Let's read the article. The state of Texas filed a lawsuit directly with the U.S. Supreme Court shortly before midnight on Monday, challenging the election procedures in Georgia. So that was I'm a day behind on this news, but it's fine because, people miss stuff, and maybe you're catching it here first, maybe you're not, but anyway, you can share my joy. As I'm saying, the state of Texas filed a lawsuit directly with the U.S. Supreme Court shortly before midnight on Monday, challenging the election procedures in Georgia, Michigan, Pennsylvania, and Wisconsin on the grounds that they violate the Constitution. Texas argues that these states violated the Electors Clause of the Constitution because they made changes to voting rules and procedures through the courts or through executive action, but not through the state legislatures. Additionally, Texas argues that there were differences in voting rules and procedures in different counties within the states, violating the Constitution's Equal Protection Clause. Finally, Texas argues that there were voting irregularities in these states as the result of the above. Texas is asking the Supreme Court to order the states to allow their legislatures to appoint their electors. This is fucking amazing. Thank you, Texas. This just opens up the door for the Supreme Court to say, because let's be frank. The Constitution says that the legislatures are the only people that can select the electors. Period. That is the Constitution right there. So the Supreme Court can rule on this, and there's no loss of face. There's no they're playing some sort of politics. It's the rule of the law. The Texas has just set up the Supreme Court to knock it out of the park, because the rule of the law is that the state legislatures are the only people allowed, not the governor, not the secretary of state, but the legislatures are the only people allowed by the rule of the Constitution to select the electors. So most of these states have Republican legislatures, which pretty much means God bless Donald Trump for another 4 more years. I mean, I might be getting ahead of myself here, but we know this election was shady. We know that Pennsylvania wanted to do this. So why wouldn't Pennsylvania do it now that they're going to be set up to do it by Supreme Court decree? So the Supreme Court, if they rule in Texas's favor, is going to say, Pennsylvania legislature, you need to pick the elector. And Pennsylvania is going to be like, we picked Donald Trump. And Wisconsin's going to be like, Pennsylvania did that? They got big balls. You know what? We can have big balls too. We picked Donald Trump. And Michigan can be like, what the heck? We can pick Trump too. And so can Georgia. All have Republican legislatures. All can freaking kiss this phony election fraud. They can give a big finger to the Democrats who tried to steal this election, and it's wonderful. This is beautiful. This is maybe Trump knew this was going to happen all along, because he has been very confident that he was. We were always wondering, when's the big news gonna drop? When is the thing that's going to tip the scales going to happen? And here it is. Texas. Texas says, not in my union. You're not gonna steal this election while Texas is in the United States. We are taking you to the Supreme Court. State versus state. I love it. This is great. All right, so Texas is asking the Supreme Court to order the states to allow their legislatures to appoint their electors. The lawsuit says certain officials in the defendant states presented the pandemic as the justification for ignoring state laws regarding absentee and mail-in voting. The defendant states flooded their citizenry with tens of millions of ballot applications and ballots in derogation of statutory control as to how they are lawfully received, evaluated, and counted. Whether well-intentioned or not, these unconstitutional acts had the same uniform effect. They made the 2020 election less secure in the defendant states. Those changes are inconsistent with the relevant state laws and were made by non-legislative entities without any consent by the state legislatures. The acts of these officials thus directly violated the Constitution. The case presents a question of law. Did the defendant states violate the Electors Clause by taking non-legislative action to change the election rules that would govern the appointment of presidential electors? These non-legislative changes to the defendant states' election laws facilitate facilitated the casting and counting of ballots in violation of state law, which in turn violated the Electors Clause of Article 2, Section 1, and Clause 2 of the U.S. Constitution. By these unlawful acts, the defendant states have not only tainted the integrity of their own citizens' vote, but their actions have also debased the votes of citizens in plaintiff state and other states that remain loyal to the Constitution. Texas approached the Supreme Court directly because of Article 3 provides that it is the court of first impression on subjects where it has original jurisdiction, such as disputes between two or more states. It's beautiful. It's a beautiful thing. It's wonderful. Maybe I'm getting a little bit ahead of myself. Maybe I'm getting a little bit excited. I should know better than to get prematurely hyped up over such things, but well, we know a couple of simple facts, right? Fact number 1, we know the Constitution says that the state legislatures are the people who pick the electors, period. We know that's in the Constitution. Texas has just pointed that out for all to see and has pointed it out to the Supreme Court, and the Supreme Court is filled with actual constitutionalists for once instead of activists. So for once, we might have a Supreme Court that's going to uphold the Constitution of the United States. And that's going to be a beautiful thing. Anyway, I'm James Johnson. And maybe, just maybe, the 2020 election is going to be saved at the last second thanks to the heroics of the great state of Texas. Again, I'm James Johnson, aka Sulfurblade. This is my content. Hopefully you're enjoying it. If so, please leave a like and subscribe. And until next time, all, peace.